Hey guys, welcome back to Movie Talk. We're gonna talk about Space Jam: A New Legacy. And it's not good. It is not good. I'll say this. Kids are most likely gonna like it. The animation for both the 2D and the CG, they're really, really good. And honestly, the CG actually looks good. Sure, the trailers made me a bit skeptical because of the CG animation, but honestly, when you actually watch it through the movie, the animation's great, the render's great. Even the fur textures on Bugs Bunny and Lola Bunny, they're not distracting at all. And yeah, it looks pretty good. The visuals are really, really flashy, and they look nice. And if the kids like LeBron James and they like video games, since they talk a lot about video games in this movie, so yeah, I'm pretty sure kids will enjoy it. But for people my age, especially people who grew up with the original Space Jam that came out in 1995, I was about 8 years old back then. Yeah, this movie is not good. It is not good for them, but it's the targeted audience is the kids, of course. So I'm pretty sure that the kids are gonna like it. If you have HBO Max, it doesn't really hurt to watch it. If you have a family and you have younger kids, yeah, just let them watch it. And if you don't like it, just focus on something else. Look on your iPad or something like that while your kids are watching it. But yeah. I honestly do not recommend it for people who are my age, do not have kids. And honestly, there is about 10 minutes of good fun in this. I will admit that, like about 10 minutes. I really enjoyed this movie because it focused on the basketball player interacting with Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes, and it is fun. So I'll give the movie that. But unfortunately, if they show that part in YouTube, just you watch that YouTube clip over and over and over again, and that's it. So I have some very big problems, mostly with LeBron James as how he is as a character, because his character is such a dick. He's not nice, and he's not even by the end, he doesn't really redeem himself, and I don't understand the point of his character. I understand the message they're trying to do in this movie, but it's not done well. And also, this movie has such an emotional part at the end, but they ruined it bad. They really badly butchered that emotional moment at the end. And also, the basketball game is not really a basketball game. Sure, they shoot hoops, but the scoring of it makes no sense. Sorry, I'm trying not to swear here because I'm pretty sure kids are going to watch this review. So the scoring makes no sense. And yeah, I did not enjoy a lot of this movie. And this movie is almost 2 hours long. It's like 1 hour, 55 minutes with credits. So I said that I enjoyed about 10 minutes of this movie. The rest of the movie is just very hard for me to sit through. Hell, I watched this on HBO Max. So basically, I watched this for free. And 7 minutes and 26 seconds in, I just want to quit watching. And the majority of that is LeBron is the opening title credits. Seriously, I just want to quit watching. That's not good. Before it's even reached 10 minutes, I want to quit watching. That's not good. And Bugs Bunny doesn't even show up until about the 25-minute mark. Oh, boy. So, I'm going to have to go into spoilers. So, again, if you have kids, it's fine to watch it with them. If you're trying to watch it on your own and you're a big fan of the original, you're not going to like this movie. I guarantee that. Okay, so the beginning of this, yeah, it shows young LeBron, and he's upset because his mother has to work and she has no time to watch his basketball game. So while he's waiting on the bleachers, his friend Malik, I believe, said that he has another Game Boy, a newer Game Boy Color. And so he gave his original Game Boy to LeBron, and LeBron was fixated on it. He was playing it for like 30 seconds, and then the gym teacher was mad at him for being distracted by the Game Boy, even though LeBron really wanted this Game Boy, and it's a gift, mind you. It's a gift by his friend, and he only had it for 30 seconds. The gym teacher took it away, and he's like, LeBron, you got to stop being distracted. LeBron was playing very well. He just couldn't score in time, and the gym teacher blamed that on the video game, and I was like, this is what you want to do? Really? And Here's the thing. Yeah, sometimes I understand the message about playing video games too much and losing control of your reality and being lazy and all that. And I do get that, but that I don't think that's what this movie is trying to do. At least correctly, because he was clearly distracted by his mother not going to show up. So you're telling me, I blame it on the video game. What? Why'd you show the mother, why'd you show him being upset that his mother is not going to show up to his game then? Might as well just cut that part out. Just show him to the bleachers and play the video game. If that's the message you're trying to show at that point. But I don't get it. I honestly don't. The gym teacher's blaming the video game. Oh, you're distracted. This is a distraction. You know he's also distracted by his mother. I don't know. And also, LeBron threw the original Game Boy away. Are you kidding me? Your friend gave it to you as a gift, and the least you could do is to just turn it off and keep it as a gift and put it in your room or something like that. No, you threw it away in a trash can, you freaking prick. I'm sorry. Oh, that made me mad. I'm like, your friend gave it to you for free even, and you just threw it away. The original Game Boy. And yeah, the Game Boy game he was playing is the Bugs Bunny Bash or something like that. I never played it. I finally got a Game Boy when the Game Boy Color, and my first Game Boy game is Pokemon Yellow. That's my very first one. Oh, man. Okay, so then it showed the opening titles, and my God. So in the original movie, you see young Mike playing basketball, and he did it for a short bit with his father, and they had a heart-to-heart, talked about Michael wanted to go into the NBA, go into North Carolina college, and once he's finished all that, he wants to be a baseball player. So even though it's very whimsical, it's like that Steven Spielberg kind of dialogue and stuff like that. It reminds you of Hook a little bit. But at the same time, it is a nice heart-to-heart, and he does what he said he was going to do. He went to college, he played in the NBA, he became a champion, and also he wants to play baseball once he's retired, just to be like his father. So yeah, honestly, the opening, along with the opening credits, great opening credits, mind you, in the original Space Jam, because it featured the song Space Jam. Oh my God, that's a bit. The opening titles suck in this. It really sucks. It doesn't amp you up. It doesn't have a good song, and it's very slow. It feels slow, and I get it because the song is slow too. So it doesn't make sense for the opening titles, you know, with the flashy imagery and stuff like that. It has to be slow. It has to be emotional. But oh my God, it's felt slow. Jesus Christ, at least the original Space Jam song amps you up. And also, I don't think I heard the Space Jam song anywhere in this movie. I did not see the ending credits, so maybe they did play it at the ending credits, but for all I know, they did not play it at all in the movie. I did not hear one line with Space Jam, the song. It sucks. And then young LeBron was in 1998, so now it takes place in present time, but not present time. It's 2020 instead of 2021 because of the pandemic and all this stuff. So it shows LeBron with his two boys. He has 3 children in this. Okay, so it's the middle child who's having problems with basketball because he's not interested. He wants to make video games. But LeBron keeps pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. And here's my biggest problem with this. LeBron keeps saying that he's not a great father and stuff like that. And I was like, wait. I understand you're having problems with your middle child, but you do know you have a grown son, right? Your oldest son. Are you saying you did horrible with him too? I mean, what the hell? Because yeah, that's the thing. His older son is very into basketball, so they have that connection, but they didn't have a connection for the middle son. But here's the thing. LeBron also has a daughter too. But this whole movie is about the middle son, of course, because the little daughter, no one cares. Apparently, no one cares. She's young. She'll learn to love basketball or something like that. That's the thing. The whole message of this movie is you have to be who you are. Let them be who they are. So if the son doesn't want to play basketball, let him learn how to play, learn how to make games. And he's honestly very successful at creating this video game. I mean, seriously, he does it all by himself with only his resources. And yes, he comes from a very rich family, so he could get resources easily compared to any other indie game developer who's working in their garage or basement or anything, creating these fantastic games. Him, yes, he has resources, but at the same time, it looked like he learned how to make the video game, and he's actually doing a very good job. But they keep pushing him by saying like the older brother of the middle child. Honestly, I totally forgot the names of everyone. The older brother is like, "Hey, it's been months. When are you going to tell your dad about your progress with the video game?" I was like, you do realize that video games can take years to make, right? Yes, I know he's all by himself, but depending on what he wants to make, yeah, if you're working on anything by yourself, of course it's going to take a long time. So the fact that he pretty much made a very, very good looking game all by himself within months, apparently. Yeah, so I don't understand why they're giving him such a hard time about it. So that's a problem I have with these writers because listen, I understand if you want to reach a demographic, but at least, study or research. Seriously? And sure, some people can make a video game within a week because they do have these video game like contests and stuff like that. But the game he made, especially with the graphics and the models and the characters and the animations and everything and the programming. Yeah, he did it all by himself. Are you kidding me? And that's the thing. I don't find it hard to believe that he did it all by himself. I find it hard to believe that people are giving him such a hard time that he's been working on it for months. I don't like that. I really don't. Anyway, so he wants to go to the E3 game design camp, and LeBron doesn't want that. LeBron wants him to go to basketball camp. And LeBron's wife is Shaniqua Martin Green. She's from the Star Trek show. She's also from The Walking Dead. Honestly, I kind of feel bad for this actress because she really has nothing to do in this. And yeah, in the original Space Jam, Michael Jordan's family is barely in the movie. Really, they're barely in the movie. It might as well have been a cameo from all these actors and actresses because that's not his real family. But at the same time, they do have a bit of a heart-to-heart. Like, they have a normal conversation, like Michael Jordan being frustrated with the baseball career, and also his son was having had a terrible game too. So they had a little heart-to-heart, and son was encouraging his dad to take a better stance and stuff. So at least I could buy that. Here, it's like, oh no, you got to get to your son. You got to do things with your son. I don't know how. Are you kidding me, LeBron? You have 3 children. Oh man. Usually in movies like this, the father or the mother have trouble connecting, especially with the oldest child. That's usually how it is. But no, now it's the middle child. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Whatever. So LeBron gets this email at Warner Brothers, and apparently only an AI works at Warner Brothers. Like, they don't really have any employees, really, human employees, because it's all run by algorithm. Ugh. And I gotta say, Don Cheadle, Don Cheadle. He gave it his all in this movie. He really did. I mean, sure, I did not like the character much, but at least he had so much fun playing as the character, which made me kind of had fun alongside him. So he gave it his all. Out of everyone in this entire movie, besides the people who played the Looney Tunes, Don Cheadle, the only live action actor in this movie, gave it his all. And yeah, I applaud him for that. So he's trying to make all these ideas with LeBron James by becoming like Batman or going into all these Warner Brother properties and stuff like that. And LeBron, I can't believe this is in a movie. LeBron James said that was a very stupid idea. A basketball player and acting in movies doesn't mix. And I was like, you had to do that, didn't you? This reminds me of X-Men Apocalypse when Jean Grey is like, oh, everyone knows that the third one is the worst one. When it turns out that X-Men Apocalypse is the third movie in the trilogy? Are you kidding me? And it turns out that it sucked. I mean, what's up with the writers writing that? I mean, do you think it's clever? Like, oh, you know what? This excuses the movie for being bad because we know it's bad. No, we don't excuse you for it. It's not smart writing. It's terrible writing and it's bad. You should not do that. It's such a groaner. And I don't know, Steven Yeun happens to be there too, along with Sarah Silverman, and they're not funny. And I guess they're just a cameo in this. I mean, oh my God, there are so many cameos in this. And I'm like, why don't you give them funny lines or funny scenes? Steven Yeun, Sarah Silverman, Little Rel, he's also in this movie too. As the announcer, he has a big part in this. And nothing he said in this movie was funny. Nothing. Oh my God. And so LeBron pissed off Algie. So Algie sucked him in via like Tron, you know, brought him into the internet, and they have to play a basketball game. So he sent them into the Looney Tunes world. And now this is the part where I did smile. I did. LeBron James going into the Looney Tunes world for the first time, realizing that he's a cartoon as well. And, you know, he was short and then he blew himself up to be big again. And he meets up with Bugs. And it turns out that Bugs is crazy because he's the only one there. He was the only one living there. Because there was a sign that said population 1. And then it went up to 2 because LeBron James happens to be there. And yeah, I enjoyed this moment. Bugs is loony. He's doing all these shenanigans. Like he was doing the same thing Elmer Fudd did. He was doing the same thing that Wile E. Coyote did and Yosemite Sam. And he's reliving the glory days all by himself. And he's bringing along LeBron James and stuff like that while LeBron is getting hurt. That is hilarious. And also, I love the part where, you know, they did the shaving thing, and it turns out that he made Bugs made himself like a Porky figure made out of pumpkins. Oh my God. And that guy, and when he was talking about family, it kind of reminds me of Vin Diesel talking about family, especially when he was drunk with characters and he's like, family. Yeah, all that made me laugh. And now LeBron James and Bugs Bunny team up. And yes, they do have a Space Jam reference in here where Bugs is like, so you, a basketball player, and me, a cartoon character, have to team up and play a basketball game? Sounds awfully familiar. And you know what? I like breaking the fourth wall jokes. So when Bugs looked at the camera and said, sounds awfully familiar, LeBron is like, who are you talking to? I will say, my most favorite break the fourth wall joke has to be in the crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I forgot what it's called. I think it was like a 1 hour, 10-minute long movie where they're going through time and through generations of turtles. And the whole reality is breaking apart. To me, that is the Infinity War of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it was pretty cool. And there was, I think it was Raphael who keeps talking to the camera. And he's talking about I forgot what the line was. But he was talking to the camera. And then one of the henchmen was looking at the camera, looking back at him, looking at the camera, looking back at him. And he's like, who are you talking to? There's no one there! I love that. Let me know which TMNT movie or TV special. Let me know in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I really love that joke. So they team up, and the first thing they go to is DC World, where it's half Metropolis, half Gotham City, and a part of it was Atlantis, just a small part of it. And I guess another part of it was like a Mr. Freezeland or something like that. I don't know. The geography of this world is weird because when you view it from like the outer space, it's like half Metropolis, half Gotham City. But they go into it, and the art style is very similar to Bruce Timm. I'm not sure if Bruce Timm actually worked on this, but the style is definitely Bruce Timm, because you see Bruce Timm version of Superman, his version of Jimmy Olsen and Commissioner Gordon, and they have the Batmobile from the Batman the Animated Series, and LeBron James is Robin and Bugs Bunny is Batman. But my favorite part is there was a runaway train and Daffy Duck is in it, and he's Superman, but he hijacked the train and made it go on a high-speed chase so he could save the train before it crashes into an orphanage. That is such a Daffy Duck thing to do, and I had a blast. This whole segment was great. So, of course, he can't save the train, and it turns out Superman was there, and he saved it, and that was it. After this part, my smile went away. I was so upset because I was riding such a high, and I was like, you know what? This movie is going to be pretty good. Sure, the first 25 minutes was awful, but now it's fun. This is fun. Then they go into this very bad montage of the Looney Tunes in live action movies and TV shows. Yeah, I do not get this, and I do not like it. And I'm not saying like it was badly done, because they are doing like the Who Framed Roger Rabbit thing, like having live action elements and putting the cartoons in front of it. Honestly, the way it was done was good, but my problem is that it was not enjoyable. The idea that Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner are in Mad Max Fury Road, when you hear that idea, that sounds awesome. But the problem is that it's just a movie, and they put Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, and they just planted them on top of the movie. So that's the thing. I don't know if it was a budget thing. I don't know if it was intentionally supposed to be like this, but I don't know. It kind of feels bad, because the whole DC thing, that was not from the animated series. Like, they ripped that off from the animated series. No, they recreated it and made a new version of it, you know? And yeah, everything is new for this movie. But here, they have Mad Max Fury Road playing. And it's not in the Looney Tunes style. It's just Mad Max Fury Road, and Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner are just on it. That's it. And they're going through the events of that movie, like the original chase, where Mad Max was tied up to the car, and one guy's like, "Witness me, witness me!" But instead of the guy saying that, it was Wile E. Coyote, and everyone's like saying "witness." Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys like it, but for me, it's weird. I don't want to say it's lazy, but it feels lazy. And that's the thing too, because they did a good job putting Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner on them. They really did, because there's the scene where Nicholas Hoult is supposed to be there, but it turns out to be Bugs Bunny. They put Bugs Bunny on top of him, but they edited it out because, you know, Bugs Bunny and Nicholas Hoult have different dimensions. And they put LeBron James. Yeah, here's the weird thing. LeBron James is live action. Every time they go into these live action movies, LeBron James is live action. He is not a cartoon anymore. So in here, he's in Mad Max Fury Road, but he has like a weird looking afro. So I was like, but we don't have anybody like that in Mad Max Fury Road. Sure, you could say that that makes sense, like Beyond Thunderdome or The Road Warrior, but I'm not sure about the original movie because no one really had that hairstyle. But yeah, in Mad Max Fury Road, no one had that hairstyle. So the fact that LeBron looks like that instead of like a War Boy or even Morton Joe or anybody, that was a little weird to me. And why is he live action for this? It makes no sense to me. Because we're going to talk about him being live action much later on. But yeah, he was live action in these live action movie montages 3 times. Mad Max Fury Road, Casablanca, and The Matrix. And I don't really understand why he's not a cartoon, because every time he goes back to the spaceship, he's a cartoon. So that was weird. So yeah, they go through these movie montages, and I would say the weirdest one is probably Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, because Elmer Fudd is Mini-Me. And I did not laugh. I kind of chuckled when it turned out Sylvester the cat is actually the naked cat, because it's naked Sylvester. So that got a chuckle out of me, but at the same time, it wasn't really funny to me. And again, you could say for this movie, the humor is subjective. Maybe it doesn't work for me. It works for other people. So maybe that's it. But for me, I just did not laugh. And this whole movie montage it's not enjoyable. It really isn't. The Austin Powers one gave me a bit of a headache. And then we get to the Matrix with Granny and Speedy Gonzalez, and that was not interesting either. Casablanca with Yosemite Sam should be funny, but it really isn't. And we have Foghorn Leghorn as I could never pronounce her name, but the one with the Queen of Dragons in Game of Thrones, Emilia Clarke's character from that. I don't know why. And here's the thing, though. They're just redoing scenes from these movies instead of reinventing their own. And I have to go back to the original Space Jam for this, because in the original Space Jam, there is a gag where Michael Jordan was talking with his kids. They had a little heart-to-heart. Then he left, and they were watching Looney Tunes. And it was Wile E. Coyote with the Roadrunner, and they're doing their own thing. And then Porky Pig just comes in, and he's like, oh, no. We got to stop this. We have to go to a meeting right now. We got to stop this. So they all left the TV. That was funny, because it turns out that they were actually doing the reruns. These are reruns, mind you, by themselves. Like, they know they're on a television show, so they have to keep doing this over and over and over again at that specific time. So I thought that was genius. That was great. But and they just left the set, and the set is just still there. That was funny. But here, though, I thought they're going to do something similar, but they never talk about this. So it's their own version of the movies that no one else is watching, because this could have been a very funny joke too. Like this whole thing is about HBO MAX, and if you watch these movies, it turns out that the Looney Tunes screwed everything up by being in these movies. That could have been hilarious, but no, there's no consequences about this. There's no funny gags about this, so nothing. So if someone wants to watch The Matrix and they see that instead of Trinity, that's Granny, and you see the reaction on the person, that would have been funnier. But no, there's nothing like that. So it's like what they're trying to tell me is that this is their own version of the movies. They're just reliving the movies. But they did this for years, because Tweety Bird was in Sylvester's tummy the entire time, and he just finally came out. He's like, what year is it? Unless it's just a joke. He thought it's more than a year. But even Bugs Bunny didn't specify on how long this happened for. But it seemed like a very long time, unless the joke was that it's been like 2 days or something like that. Again, that was a joke from SpongeBob, Sponge Out of Water, where SpongeBob went through time. He time traveled to the future, and he sees Patrick with a long beard and bikini bottom was covered in sand, and SpongeBob's like, oh my god, how long has I been gone? How long has this happened for? And Patrick's like, 2 days. Ah! See, that was funny. I thought they would do something like that, but no. So they gathered up the team, they did the movie montage, but then I got a smile on my face again when they did the DC Comics Wonder Woman. And this was made for the movie. And this whole planet is just a giant Wonder Woman comic book. And Wonder Woman is voiced by Rosario Dawson, not Gal Gadot, which I thought was Gal Gadot at first, but I was like, no, her English is too good. So it was Rosario Dawson. And Lola Bunny is one of the Amazons, and she wants to pass this trial, just like in the Wonder Woman 1984. And LeBron and Bugs Bunny are trying to go after her. And the animation is really done well. And honestly, I had fun with this. I was like, okay, we're back in. I'm liking this. But once that segment is done, I was not having fun anymore. Because they have to train for the basketball game, and unfortunately, it's not as funny as in the original movie. We did see the gag where Daffy Duck was passing the ball to Yosemite Sam, and Yosemite was shooting at him. Yeah, that was in the trailer, so hard for me to laugh at it again in the movie because I already seen it many times. And the Looney Tunes are being loony, but LeBron is pissed, and he's like, no, we got to go over the fundamentals. We have to go over the fundamentals. We have to go over the fundamentals. That's his whole speech the entire time. And all this time, LeBron James had 24 hours? I don't think it was 24 minutes. I'm pretty sure it was 24 hours. But the thing is that if it was 24 hours, then that means that LeBron James and his son was in the internet for 24 hours, and LeBron James' friend / brother, I don't know. I don't know who Malik is supposed to be, honestly, because I thought he was his friend, but they're treated like a brother or something like that. Or he's just a very, very, very good friend. I don't know. So Malik was trying to find him, and he was talking with this the security guard. And if it turned out it has been 24 hours, God, wow. Anyway, so the basketball game finally starts, and during this time, they have to rip off of Hook. They really did. The story rips off of Hook. So in the movie Hook, while Robin Williams, Peter Pan, was trying to be Peter Pan, during this time, his son Jack was having a bond with Captain Hook. And Captain Hook was teaching him about, breaking the glass, being a badass, and also teaching him about baseball and all that stuff. And, being more of a father to him than Peter Pan ever did. So, yeah, that's the same thing here. Algae Rhythm is trying to be more like a father to LeBron James' middle son. And through this, he learns that the son was making a video game. Oh, my God. I got to talk more about the video game. Okay. So this video game, he has this phone, a very super expensive phone with, I guess it's an attachment. I don't think it's part of the phone, but this attachment is a camera and a scanner. And it scans people and objects very quickly, and it gives them an animation rig already. Within seconds. If you use this machine, within seconds, you have a fully formed character looking like you. Within seconds. And so far, from what I can see and tell from this movie, the son is the only one who has this. What? Even Algae Rhythm was shocked about this. Shocked about the machine. Shocked about the technology. Because he has never seen or heard of it before. Because at that point, I was like, maybe only the rich kids have this, but no. This kid has the most special phone in the entire world that can scan people in and give them an animation rig, and they can become playable within seconds. Do you know how... This machine is so special that I'm pretty sure every single movie studio, animation studio, game studio will want that to speed things up. Think about it. You could scan anybody you want. You could even scan like Arnold Schwarzenegger and turn him into the Terminator and play basketball if you want. Within seconds. Seconds, not minutes, seconds. I cannot believe that. So of course, it's a very big, it's a very big plot point because Algae Rhythm sees how important, how special this machine is, so he used it all over the world. Oh my God. Oh man. Seriously, this scanner is so special. Do you know how people would kill to have something like this, you know? Oh my God. And this kid just happens to have it for his video game. Okay, so the video game he's trying to make is a basketball game, and he's using LeBron James moves. And yeah, they'll come back to that because at one point, LeBron James was doing his special like crossfade, fade back, blah, blah, blah. I forgot the combo. And once LeBron James tries to do it, the game glitches out, and apparently it can delete a character. I don't fully understand this, and mind you, I am not a game designer. I'm trying to take a course in game design, and I do watch videos about game design, and I do know of friends who do game design. But the thing is that this kid, who has all the resources he can ever have, with this special phone. You're telling me that this kid did not back up at all? He never backed up once? So yeah, when this glitched out and gave him errors and all that stuff, and immediately he's like, oh no, this game deleted my whole character. It's gonna take months. Months? You have a special camera that can scan anything in and gives them a rig and can animate within seconds. Who? What do you mean, your character? Who cares? Scan yourself again. Have your brother scan you. I mean, he helped you scan the NBA stars, so why the hell is this so difficult for you? I don't understand. Yeah, maybe now I understand why the brother's like, you know, it's been months because you have the technology in your hands, you stupid idiot. Oh no, my character got deleted. Who cares? You should have backed up, and also, you have a machine that can scan things! What is wrong with you? Oh my god. See, that's the problem with people who don't know anything about designing video games, and they decided to put that in to be hip. Oh my god. I just hate that. I'm sorry. So yeah, that whole glitch thing, it'll be very important. Yeah, that's a very important plot point. Okay, so the game is about to start, and Algae Rhythm turns everyone into CGI versions of themselves, and he made cartoon LeBron become live action LeBron. And here's my big problem with that. So as cartoon LeBron was changing back to his original self, mind you, his original self, he's like, what's happening? Why would you say that? Why? It's like you haven't been live action 3 times already while you're in the Toons world. You were live action in Mad Max Fury Road. You were live action in Casablanca. You were live action in The Matrix. And now you're like, what's happening? Here's the thing. If they made it into a gag, maybe it was a deleted scene. Maybe he keeps saying every time he transforms back to his original self, his live action self, even though he has to change costumes and stuff. And he's like, what's happening? If he did that like 4 times and then Bugs Bunny said, oh, give it a rest. Yeah, that would be funny. But no, he had to say what's happening, even though he's becoming his original self. It's stupid. It's bad writing. Oh my God. We have to talk about LeBron's acting here. Okay. I don't know whose decision it is to make LeBron James a dick in this movie, but he is such a dick. He's a terrible father who doesn't pay attention to his sons or even his daughter, or I'm pretty sure doesn't pay attention to his wife. I don't even know what his wife sees in him. Maybe it's just the money. I don't know. But yeah, and here's the thing. He is technically a better actor than Michael Jordan was in the original Space Jam. And LeBron James did have some experience because he was in Trainwreck. Now, I was okay with LeBron James being in Space Jam 2 because I really liked him so much in Trainwreck. He was hilarious in Trainwreck. And honestly, when I heard he was going to be in it, I thought he was going to be the worst parts about the movie. But no, he was one of the best parts. Every time he's in the movie, especially with Bill Hader, it was hilarious. Especially the part where he's on the basketball court quoting Kanye, quoting the song Gold Digger. That was funny. He has great comedic timing. So I don't know what's up with him here. Either he de-evolved, or the writing was just bad, or the direction was just bad, or what? Or maybe it was just a fluke in Trainwreck, or again, maybe Trainwreck did have a better director, a better writer, and they worked him hard to get the best lines and stuff like that. Maybe, or it was just a fluke. I don't know. But I expected him to be like he was in Trainwreck, and he was not even 1/10 of the. He didn't have 1/10 of the charisma or the persona that he did in Trainwreck even. So that's why it doesn't really matter if he's a better actor than Michael Jordan. At least Michael Jordan wasn't a dick in the original Space Jam. Sure, he was a bit of a dick to Wayne Knight's character, Stan, I believe, if I recall correctly. So yeah, but otherwise, he was nice to the Toons, and he let the Toons be whoever they want to be as loony as they want to be, and he didn't argue with them, he didn't yell at them, and he even though he didn't really do that motivational speech about the confidence and stuff like that that much, Bugs Bunny is the one that gave the confidence drink and stuff like that. But again, he went into it and he knows what Bugs is doing, and he just had fun. He was smiling a lot through the second half of the game when they were actually making a comeback. And yeah, even though, like I said, it doesn't really matter if LeBron James was a better actor. He was so much of a dick in this movie that I really prefer Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is such a nice guy compared to LeBron James in the original Space Jam. Oh my God. So here's the thing. LeBron James knows that this is not a regular basketball game. He knows, but he keeps trying to talk about the fundamentals. There's only one basketball game. It doesn't matter about if the rules change. Dude, this is not the basketball you know, because your son made it, and it's your son's version of basketball, and it's his rules, even though there are no rules. Yeah, this whole basketball game makes no freaking sense. Okay, so in the original Space Jam, yes, the Looney Tunes and the Monstars, they did so many things that should not happen in a regular basketball game. You cannot hurt people. You can't tackle them. You can't use guns. You can't use explosions. You can't use hurt others, you know? You can't do that. But at least the scoring was simple. If you're within the line, it's 2 points. If you're outside of the line, it's 3 points. Even if you don't know much about basketball, at least you could get the fundamentals of that. Here, it makes no sense. So this whole basketball game is won over by style points. Style points. And most of the time, these style points depend on what kind of moves you do, what combos you do before you score. But again, this game has rules, but at the same time, it doesn't have rules. You don't really know how these style points work. Sometimes you see a combo meter, but you don't exactly understand how that works. So when you see combo meters, like in video games like SSX Tricky or even Tony Hawk, when you're doing different combos, at least it gives you a number. And honestly, sometimes you understand what the number is. Like, if it's like 100 points, that's usually great. If it's like 5 points, that means it's kind of lame or something like that, you know, depending on each game. But here, the Looney Tunes and the Goon Squad, they did so many different things that it's hard to keep track of how they can score and what points they can score up to. So by the second score, by the Goon Squad, it really makes no sense. There's the spider lady who's at the basket and keeps dunking the basketball. And at the same time, every time she dunks it, the basketball bounces off of LeBron's face. She catches it and dunks it again. And apparently, that counts. That counts. It didn't matter if, she scored and that was it. No, she can keep scoring as much as she can. And it keeps going and going and going. By this point, I checked out because I have no idea how you're supposed to play this game. I'm pretty sure that young kids are going to like it because they're like, because the final score is over 1,000 points. In a basketball game, mind you, 1,000 points. Kids are most likely going to like it because they love seeing huge numbers like that. They're like, oh my God, he scored 1,000 points, you know? Oh my God, Wile E. Coyote scored 500 points to make a comeback. Kids might like that. I don't. Because I don't understand how this works. If the Spider-Woman can keep scoring like that, why can't she just keep doing it? Sure, LeBron James was knocked to the floor, but that shouldn't stop her from keep scoring, you know? Because it's not like the Looney Tunes try to stop it. It's not like the referee tried to stop her. She decides to stop scoring at that point. I don't understand it. She could have just kept going because she has enough power to bounce the basketball back off of someone's face into her hand so she could keep dunking it. That makes no sense. Or even when Wile E. Coyote does the big comeback of making his cloning machine where he puts the basketball in, but also accidentally gets sucked in. So he keeps scoring and scoring and scoring. 500 points, mind you, up to 500 points. He could have kept going. But yeah, that's my big problem with this movie. So if you're telling me there are really no rules on how to score, then why can't these people just keep scoring then? The Spider-Woman could have kept scoring. It didn't look like that she was too tired, and also she's a video game character. Do video game characters feel tired? I don't know. And it's not like, oh, she's the actual basketball player that transformed into a spider. No, she is just a video game character created for this video game that they're in. So I don't understand the point of the scoring. I really don't. And sometimes LeBron James makes like 2 points and that was it. And yeah, they sometimes have these like jump hoops and stuff like that, but sometimes they disappear, sometimes they show up. So yeah, it's very inconsistent. It is not a good basketball game. And if this is the basketball game that the kid was trying to create, then I'm sorry. He has to work hard on it and explain the rules because it's not fun. Honestly, it's not fun. And I feel like the AI would take so much advantage of that if you put it on hard mode. Like, oh, the AI made 1 million points. You have to beat that. You know? So that's why this scoring makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. So that's the problem. If I don't care about the basketball game, then why should I care about a movie called Space Jam where it's supposed to be a basketball star teaming up with a Looney Tunes character playing basketball? If I don't care about the actual final game, which is half of this movie, why should I care at all? Oh my God. There's almost nothing good about this game. Hell, there's a part where they have a rap battle. And no, this rap battle does not happen at the halftime. This rap battle doesn't happen before the game or even after the game. No, this happens during the game. And it came out of nowhere. I don't even know how it happened either. I guess Algie was talking about like making a battle or rapping or something like that. I don't really know the line. I didn't even pause and go back to it because I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. All of a sudden, Porky Pig has this rap battle, and that was it. It was a horrible rap. It was a horrible scene, and it gives them bonus style points. They didn't even score a basket. They get points just for the rap battle alone. And here's the problem with calling it a rap battle. It's a rap battle if it's between at least 2 people. 1v1 at least. If the other person doesn't attempt to rap, it's not a rap battle. It's just one pig rapping and that's it. Ugh. Now I'm getting mad. So yeah, and also, it turns out in the Goon Squad, LeBron James' son is on their team. And yeah, that's what we want in Space Jam. LeBron James fighting off against a little boy who's not even a cartoon character, not even CGI, no. It's so lame. It really is. Again, maybe the kids will like it because they're like, they could see themselves as that. They're like, oh my God, I could be in a basketball game with LeBron James. Something like that, maybe, for the kids. But my God, for me, this was so lame. And they did have another Goon Squad member who's called Kronos, I believe, who could stop time and stuff like that, and has a Quicksilver moment too, or the Flash moment, well, whatever it's the equivalent. So yeah, I don't understand. And also, when Algie later becomes a player on the team, he makes him so big, he turns himself into a giant, ugly CGI Don Cheadle. I don't know if the face is also CGI too, but it really, really looks weird. It really reminds me of the effects in R.I.P.D., where it's like realistic people's faces on top of these very nightmarish things. Like when you see Kevin Bacon turn himself into a demon form and you're like, ugh, that is so weird. Same thing here. It's like giant Don Cheadle, giant muscular Don Cheadle, and he's CG mostly. Again, I can't tell if the face is CG or not, but it was very, very weird. If you want to talk about bad effects, yeah, that is the bad effect in here. Everything else was good compared to this. And you know what? Yes, you do see the basketball players like Anthony Davidson being this blue eagle thing, but at least he did not look terrifying. He did not look frightening. He didn't even look ugly. He looked fine. Yeah, when the basketball players are the Goon Squad, you could tell it's them, but at least they're cartoonish enough that it's really acceptable. But when you see Don Cheadle as this, you're like, nope, I don't like it. I really don't. So yeah, and yeah, Granny was in the Matrix, and it's important because she does the Matrix thing again because she was Trinity in this. Yeah, when the Looney Tunes were making a comeback, I did not like it. I honestly didn't. Nothing about the scoring made sense to me. I did not care. And I gotta say this. I didn't mention it earlier, but now I'm mentioning it. So, this had a Ready Player One moment. Well, not moment, moments. The whole game is with the spectators from the Warner Brothers universe. The Warnerverse. Whatever they call it. I'm sorry. I keep thinking it's the Snyderverse, but no, Serververse. I'm sorry, the Serververse. So you see characters like the Iron Giant, King Kong, the Wizard of Oz monkeys, and the Flintstones, and Scooby-Doo, and the Mystery Van, and a bunch of other stuff. And I gotta say, it's really distracting. It really is. I understand some people think that Ready Player One was really pandering because it featured all these video game characters and movie characters, and it was so much filled. It's mostly for nostalgia and corporate and stuff like that. And I understand the arguments, but I gotta say, Ready Player One did that way better than this movie because at least in Ready Player One, at least the characters have their moment to shine. At least you're like, ooh, there's Batman. Ooh, there's Chun-Li. Ooh, there's Ryu. Ooh, there's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, even though they're the Michael Bay ones, but they're there and they're kicking ass. Ooh, there's the Spartans shooting up the place. Ooh, there's Spawn. Ooh, there's Batgirl. Ooh, there's Joker. Ooh, Mechagodzilla. At least they have their moment to shine, you know? At least you understand that they're avatars, and yes, I know the Iron Giant shouldn't use lasers because he's against that in the movie. That's the whole point of the movie. But the thing is that it's a mod, and they're avatars. That's fine. But here, they're supposed to be the characters, and they are so freaking distracting. Like, every time you're looking in the background, you're like, is that Pennywise? Oh my God, that's Pennywise. Wait, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin? And he happens to be in the bathrobe and he's doing that singing number? Oh, that is. Oh, is that Danny DeVito's Penguin from Batman Returns? Oh my God, that is. Oh, is that the Droogs from Clockwork Orange? Oh my God, it is. Speaking of which. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm flaring up a bit. Pepe Le Pew is not in this movie, and honestly, I didn't even notice. I honestly didn't notice that he wasn't in this movie until I read a newspaper article about it. And at first I was like, "All right, he got canceled because of the rape culture and stuff like that." Even though I'm against them canceling it, and I'm not. When I viewed the old cartoons with him, I don't really see it as rape culture, but if people believe it's rape culture, then fine, that's fine. I can understand why it's canceled. For me, I prefer to modify the character, like make him less rapey, if that makes sense. But if they have no choice but to get rid of him, fine. I stand by Warner Brothers' judgment on that. But if you have the freaking rapists from Clockwork Orange in your movie targeted for kids, and you gave us this bullshit about Pepe Le Pew being canceled, and you're standing by that judgment, what is the matter with you? I don't get it. If you're really that strong about a freaking cartoon skunk being a rapist, then why do you have actual rapists from a live action movie, from an adult movie, a very adult movie, in your movie, which is targeted for kids? You can't have both. If you can have the Droogs, you can have Pepe Le Pew then, if that's your reasoning. If you can't have Pepe Le Pew, do not have the Droogs. So, well, Because the Droogs are actual people. They hired people to be in those costumes. They're not computer animated, at least from what I can tell. They hired people to be in those actual costumes, to be in the background of the movie. Why? And that's the problem too. When the game got boring, I was actually looking at the spectators. That's not what you should do in a movie called Space Jam, where the big final game is supposed to be the most big event of the movie, but it's the most boring part about the movie. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my God. And now we have to talk about Zendaya as Lola Bunny. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with Zendaya. I don't have a problem with her being Lola Bunny. Honestly, after watching this movie, she was fine. She was honestly fine. And honestly, the thing is, even though I like Katha Sochi, the original voice actress for Lola Bunny, even though I really like her and I like her interpretation as Lola Bunny, and I really like Lola Bunny in the original Space Jam, and yes, she is sexualized, I do get that, and they decide to make her less sexualized in this, I can understand that. I understand the changes. Do I fully agree with it? Not really, because I'm the kind of guy who likes, to keep things original. But again, if this is for kids and they want to make a less sexualized Lola Bunny, that is fine. Yeah, we're still talking about the Pepe Le Pew thing, but still, that's fine. They want to change the voice actress? That is also fine. Because honestly, maybe Kath could do a less sexualized Lola Bunny, this very confident Amazon warrior Lola Bunny. Maybe she could do a good job. But again, I couldn't understand why she was replaced by Zendaya for this. But here's the thing. I don't think Warner Bros. Was trying to make Zendaya into a big name so people can watch it just for her. I don't think so. But the marketing made it seem like it is because her name is mentioned so many times. And I'm not sure if, I don't think she wants that. I don't think she's told the marketing team to do that. I could be wrong. Maybe she is. Maybe she's insane and she's a diva and she wants everyone to know her name, that she is Lola Bunny in this marketing. I don't know. But from what I can tell, that the marketing really hyped her up for, and it's kind of bad. But again, her performance as this version of Lola Bunny, it is fine. She is, and honestly, she's not the worst thing in this movie, so that's fine. And again, this is the third version of Lola Bunny that I'm getting used to anyway. Because the second one from the Looney Tunes show that came out a few years ago, I remember when I first heard about it and I watched it with Lola Bunny, I hated it. Because I was like, this is not Lola Bunny. I don't know who this character is. This is not Lola Bunny. Lola Bunny is not insane. Lola Bunny is not this character. Lola Bunny is not this goofy. Lola Bunny is supposed to be like the Jessica Rabbit of Space Jam. But you know what? After I watched more episodes of that show and I realized that Kristen Wiig did the voice, I really love her. She is great. She is hilarious. It's funny how this Lola Bunny, Kristen Wiig's Lola Bunny, has a bigger personality compared to Lola Bunny from the original Space Jam. And here's the thing, I really like them both. I really do. So now this is the third version of Lola Bunny, and I'm okay with it. I honestly am. Okay, so here's the thing. LeBron James' son was on the Goon Squad, and later he decides to join up with the Toon Squad, and he's able to play there. Again, this game has rules, but it doesn't have rules. I mean, and here's the thing too. This whole thing is just like the original Space Jam, where they made a bet. Like if the basketball team, if the Looney Tunes win, then they don't have to be slaves or something like that. In this version, if the Looney Tunes win, they don't have to get deleted. They don't get deleted, and LeBron gets his son back. That's it. But if LG wins, everyone is a slave to the serververse. But the thing is that there's no consequence of LeBron James' son changing places. There's also no consequence of LeBron James' son changing his stats where he has high jump, high handles, and all that stuff. So there is no consequence for any of this. And there's no consequence for cheating either, because you can cheat on both sides. Because they flip the arena, so the brow, the blue Anthony Davis bird thing scored for the Looney Tunes team, unfortunately. They moved the hoops and stuff like that. So, yeah, at this point, the Suns like, okay, the only way we can score is to make this glitch. But if we do this glitch, that character will be deleted. LeBron thinks that because he's a real person, he can't get deleted because he's not a video game character. But honestly, no one is a video game character in this, so I don't really understand this either. Anyway, so LeBron James was going to do the shot, but Bugs Bunny took it. And here's the big emotional part. Bugs Bunny knows he will be deleted if he does this move. So he does the move, starts glitching out, the whole game glitches, and LeBron was about to score, but he missed because Algae was bringing him down. But the Sun was able to take off one of the jump hoop things, you know, the jump pad power-ups, and threw it to LeBron, and LeBron used it to jump higher and then score and do the posterized effect. And yeah, they win the game. Everyone goes home. Algae is destroyed, I think, because he was a poster. I don't get it. And the Goon Squad is gone. And the Looney Tunes become their 2D selves again. And Bugs is about to be deleted. But before that happens, LeBron leaves. And that was it. So at this point, I was like, holy crap, Bugs is actually deleted? Whoa. Doesn't matter because they showed the ending where he's alive because he even said, I'm a toon. I can survive anything. Yeah, it's not even a funny joke. It was a horrible emotional payoff. It was shit. I don't get it. You tugged at my heartstrings that Bugs Bunny sacrificed his life. But it turns out it doesn't matter anyway because he can't be deleted. You couldn't even do a funny joke with that? You couldn't even do that. You couldn't even do that thing from The Mask where Jim Carrey got shot and he's like, ah-ooh-ee, ah-ooh-ee. And he's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Ah. And it turned out it was a performance for an Oscar thing. And he's like, thank you, thank you. You couldn't even do that. I can't believe this movie. This movie sucks. And Little Rel, he was in a better basketball movie than this. If you want a good basketball movie where it's a whole gimmick with, the basketball players, yeah, go watch Uncle Drew. Uncle Drew is a much better basketball movie than this. And hell, that had basketball players who are still young in old makeup and they're still playing like they're young people. You know what? That movie is funnier than this. That movie had better basketball game than this. That movie has better acting than this, and especially from a bunch of basketball players. So what the hell is wrong with this movie? This movie was crap. No good emotional payoff. There's no Bill Murray, no Wayne Knight, no Michael Jordan. Oh, okay, I gotta say, my most favorite joke about the movie, Michael B. Jordan. That was my favorite joke about the movie. And unfortunately, I did see it before the movie came out because it was on YouTube, but it was a hilarious joke. I love it. It's like, oh my God, he's coming back. But it turns out that Sylvester got the wrong Michael Jordan. It was Michael B. Jordan. Oh my God. So yeah, LeBron learned his lesson and sends his son to E3 game design camp, and he realized he should let his sons be who they want to be, and I guess he's going to screw up the daughter's life as well. I don't know. It's just awful. There's no emotions in this. It was terribly done. The jokes are bad. The only thing I liked in this movie is just 10 minutes of Bugs Bunny being crazy, along with LeBron James and the Daffy Duck as Superman in the DC world, and Lola Bunny in the DC Comics Amazon thing. That's it. And the Michael B. Jordan joke. But that's it. I did not enjoy a lot about this movie. Sure, the animations are great on both the 2D side and the CGI, but it means nothing if the story was bad. 6 people did the screenplay, and you're telling me this is the best they could come up with? 25 years after the original movie came out, and you decide to give us this? This is just like Independence Day Resurgence all over again. I cannot believe that they spent all this time and effort into making this movie that has all the worst elements about it. The spectators are distracting from the Warner Brothers side. The basketball game makes no sense with the scoring, and it's not even fun to look at. And also, they did horrible things with the Looney Tunes as well by putting them into the movie montage, and it's not even done well. It's not even funny. And LeBron James was a dick in this. This whole movie was a big disaster, and I do not like it. I do not recommend it for people my age who grew up with the original Space Jam. I am done because it's more than an hour of me ranting. I am done. Thanks for watching. This is Movie Talk, signing out.